Welcome back to Matchday Live. My name is Natalie Pike and I'm still joined in the studio by Andy Morrison and Shaun Goater. It is half-time, 0-0 in the fourth round Carabao Cup game tonight. Manchester City versus West Ham. City fairly dominant there in the first half, but without really creating any clear-cut chances, Shaun. We're looking at 66% possession, 7 shots, but just the one on target. What did you make of the first half?
Yeah, I think when we look at it, City seemed to be, Andy and I were just off screen saying that perhaps it was the tempo, and I slightly wonder, is this purposeful from City in terms of having it slow? What I see City doing is Zinchenko is going inside alongside Fernandinho, and it's allowing Sterling to be in his wide positions, or Gundogan peels wide, and that's the way in how they're breaking the lines, getting that ball from Eke to out wide to Sterling or maybe Gundogan. So they're breaking the lines that way, but getting into the final third and getting those clear-cut chances and opportunities are just not. And we know West Ham are this way, how they defend. You know they're going to be solid, rigid. I think obviously West Ham will be more the pleased because the longer they will want it to go. But I'm more pleased from City's point of view of not being counted on, because for me, West Ham ways of scoring will be a set piece, corners, free kicks, all being counted on. And I think we've done a really good job on when they've won the ball to be able to defend it well enough, high enough, and not being counted on. So there's some pleasing things. I just think it's the final third. Once we get those shots off and really work the keeper, be really pleased.
Andy, what do you make of the first half?
I thought it was a little bit slow to start with. Just the detail on the pass, a little bit safe at times. And, we've got into some good positions, and the weight of the pass, it just hasn't quite fell right. But, with a dominant team, we've had the most possession and the greater opportunities, and a real good chance at the end. But the slower you play with the detail that West Ham defend with, and it looks like almost a 5-4-1 out of possession, a 5-3-2 in possession, but basically 10 behind the ball when they lose the ball, and it's a little bit slow. It's very difficult for City to actually counter a team from a deep position defending, because we don't have a 9. That's the highest player at the pitch. The opposition will always have a chance to get back. It's when we pinch the ball in the middle third that we're at our most dangerous, and on a few occasions that we did manage to get the turnover in the middle third, if the pass is right, the timing of the pass, De Bruyne went on the outside of Sterling and the pass was just a yard too far. He wants to hit that first time with his left foot, but just that small detail was a little bit out, and we tidied that up. I think we'll go in and win the game.
Obviously, we talked a lot about Cole Palmer before the game, Shaun. He's had a couple of chances tonight. What have you made of his first half?
Yes, I like Cole Palmer, as we spoke about. Cole Palmer, sorry. Cole Palmer, I like him because he gets into his pockets and he gets his body turned. There's a loop movement. He received the ball and just sort of went away from the defender. And he also seems to have a decent shot where he works the keeper, which is good in terms of his progression as a player, because nothing worse than getting the opportunities and then you're hitting it high, you're hitting it wide. So I like where he shows up in loop pockets. I wouldn't be surprised when I see how City's playing. I could see him and or De Bruyne being key in the second half for one or two reasons. Zinchenko seems to be pushed inside, and it forces them to stay narrow. But if that ball is with Zinchenko, for instance, he will then find a diagonal pass that'll break the lines into either De Bruyne. It'll be a diagonal pass, not a straight pass. A diagonal pass into Cole Palmer or Kevin De Bruyne, who are then in the pockets facing up the defense, and I think a goal will come from that sort of play. Alternatively, because they have sort of 5 at the back, the other way I see the goal coming from is a ball out wide, someone inside 10, 8 or 10, meaning the Gundogan or De Bruyne making a straight run towards the byline, and that ball being passed from the winger to them towards the byline where they flash it across. We're seeing many goals City score that. I think that's the way in which we will potentially break them down and create a chance as well.
Oh, I hope it comes from exactly one of those. Then at full time we can be like, see, Shaun Goater said.
It will happen.
I would love that. Word on the defence, Andy, from the defender in the room. How do you think they've done? Obviously, Zach Stefan coming in, playing the cup competitions. There was a moment, do you remember was it the first half of the first half, where I was gasping when we were watching it because he's played it out short, but then it was fine. Then we ended up passing it probably out 50 times, taking it all the way up the other end of the pitch. But how have you assessed the defence and Zach Sefan in the first half?
I think it would be nice to see Edison and Stefan's heart rate during a game, because they're so composed and so laid back. And it's such a contrast to when I played. You wouldn't go back to your keeper under that sort of pressure, but they're so calm, and they just seem to be. It's expected and to deal with it. And it's been pleasing. We've not looked in any danger. We talked about them being a threat from set plays, and that's not materialised. The set play that was the greatest opportunity was at the end of the game, where Aki's actually trying to flick his neck rather than, head it from the shoulders and everything else solid. The flick is more of that. That's more of a near post run where you're trying to get a little nick on the ball. Whereas on that situation, just make good purchase on the paces on the ball. And that was the outstanding opportunity in the game right at the end of the first half.
Oh, and if he'd have scored, Shaun, I'd have been like, Shaun said he was going to do well. It was Shaun. Yes. Shaun said it.
Well, the one thing we know with Aki is he just possesses great ability in the air and in both boxes. He seems to get his head on things. So whether it's defending and getting a nick to clear it or attacking offensively. So you see by his reaction, he's had his hands as to say he should have done better. And I believe that if we're in those positions and he's up and the ball is within his vicinity, he has that ability to go in and create threats. So he's always a threat. But again, I think second half, I really see both going out wide and Sterling causing some havoc, because again his racket against him. I think we will see some more from Sterling, and also Kevin De Bruyne. I think we will see another 5% from him in terms of in the final third, that quality of pass that we know he has. I could see something like that happening for us as well.
And then if we need to make any changes off the bench, if Pep decides to, we have an incredible substitutes bench there. Diaz, Jesus, Grealish, Laporte, Rodri, Cancelo, Foden and Edozie on the bench. Obviously, Phil Foden is, for me, the standout player in the squad at the minute. When we mention Phil Foden, it gives us the opportunity as well to re-look back at that final of the Carabao Cup when we played Aston Villa and we won, and we can see some beautiful clips of Phil Foden. If we decide to make a substitution, he really is a sort of game changer, isn't he, Andy?
There's a few game changers. Grealish, Jesus. I think Jesus will play a part tonight. I really do, when he comes on, because he has not a more desire to score goals, but he's a little bit more frenzied in there, and there's a bit more urgency from Jesus with his finishing, and I think that's what's needed tonight. I feel it's a little bit slow. We're watching him here now, and
yeah, Foden.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, he's incredible. But you talk about Jesus. I think Jesus' record is 3 goals and 5 assists in all competitions. So it surprised me that he has that many assists. But then again, I'm not surprised, because since he's going wide, he showed what he's about in terms of putting in great crosses. And when he's going inside, we see the instinct he has as a striker. But Foden. It's easy to talk about Foden, commentate with Foden, because he affects the game. Out of possession, he works hard. He puts the opposition under pressure. He's asking questions in the final thirds with dribbles, runs, shots. He's just an exciting player. So, and then you got Grealish as well. Grealish will come on and play a part, draw 2 or 3 players, and then be able to release it. And then all of a sudden, we've got to overload on the other side to expose them. So we've got some really good options. I'd like to see the game be comfortable, to see Edozie get on for a few minutes, because again, like what he was doing early part of the season. So it'd be good that he can get some minutes, but I think Pep will want the game to be well enough clear to then say, because he's not just going to do it to be nice.
So we've only got 5 minutes left before the second half. We've got absolutely loads of WhatsApp questions that have come in. We've also, I want to give you all a recap on Cryptic City as well, because I've got it. But I just want to share with you, I love Phil Foden. I love him even more when I found out that Phil Foden has a dog. Do you guys like dogs?
I like dogs, but I don't have a dog.
Okay, stick with me. There is Phil Foden's dog. It's called Carabao. He called his cup Carabao. There is Zinni and Zinchenko loves dogs, by the way. He feeds the police dogs. We have a team full of dog lovers. Basically, the fact that Phil Foden called his dog Carabao gives us all the opportunity to just look at pictures of the players' dogs, which I'm sure is extremely popular with everybody at home.
Well, with that in mind, I mean, if I had a dog...
That's my dog.
Oh, what's his name?
Sergio.
There we go. Well, if I had a dog, I'd name him Champion. Just quite simple, Champion.
Genius. He's a genius.
Come here, Champion. Come here, boy.
Yes. Do you know, though, Bernardo Silva's got a dog? Do you know what he's called him? Have you heard this?
No, I haven't. What?
Bernardo Silva's called his dog after John Stones, John. Bernardo Silva has a dog called John. I love Bernardo Silva so much. I love Carabao. I love all the players' dogs, and of course my little Sergio. And this just gives me an excuse to say, send me in your pictures. We'd love to see your pictures of your City dogs with their City shirts on, or watching City, or doing anything City. I'm happy now. I'm so happy that we've got to share dogs on this programme. Right, let's have a little quick look at Cryptic City, see if you've got it yet. A few people have tweeted me, and I think they have the right answer. See, the thing is, the production team don't tell me the answer. You can send us in your guesses using #City. I think I've got a guess. Have you, gents, are you...
Well, I'm following you. I'm following you because I have no clue. So I'm sorry, I have no clue. But
Andy?
I got a great team here.
No, I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
So mine is based around the fact that is Tommy Cooper, but I'm calling his hat a fez, which I think... So I'm looking at a fez and a TV. So maybe that's where I've got my guess from, everybody. And also it helps the fact that I know that that's the programme Lost, because I used to watch it. I'm still infuriated with the ending, which really does go off on a real football tangent. Right, we've got a couple of minutes now until the second half. Thank you so much for joining us again at half-time. We'll be back at full-time to give you match analysis, hopefully discussing Manchester City winning and progressing to the next round of the Carabao Cup. You can get your commentary, as I said, on the Manchester City app with Alistair Mann. Also, I didn't realise, but he is joined by the wonderful Michael Brown, so they are the dream team when it comes to commentary. That is the place to get your commentary for this evening's game. So enjoy the second half. Blues, fingers crossed we're going to see a goal, and the three of us will be back at full time to give you, fingers crossed, full time analysis on a City win.